Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Irrelevant Sports. I'm your host, Marissa.womack, and here I am with Nate, so I'm going to give him let him introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nate Wyndham. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I am a sophomore studying finance and business management. I started playing water polo my sophomore year of high school. I was a swimmer for a long time, looking for a little change of pace. Picked it up on a whim at a practice and really fell in love with the sport, and been playing ever since. Play club water polo here, and I'm really excited for this podcast.
Yeah, so this episode obviously is the water polo episode of the Gamecock D1 series. Water polo, I used to go to games in high school. I didn't ever understand it. I would just go for my friend and to support him. And then they would try and get us in the water after. That would never work. Playing against us, it was just all girls that were drowning, tackling over us. But we can just get into what water polo is. Yeah. On Google, it literally says a game consisting of mainly players swimming to move why did they word it like that? To move about the pool, treading water, mainly using the egg beater kick, passing the ball and shooting at the goal. It's like soccer, but with your hands.
So I like to describe it as a combination of soccer, handball, and basketball.
Yeah.
So basically, if you've ever seen basketball, I assume everyone has, it's like a form of an umbrella sort of thing going on. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what we do, but we take it, so the positions, there's names for them, but I always just do it by the numbers. It's 1, 2, 3 at the top key, 4, 5, 6. 6 is in the center side. And so it's sort of set up like that, and defense is obviously press man on all of them. Mm-hmm. And so it works like soccer. If there's a transition to fast break, someone's swimming down. There's no offsides or anything, so you can just do a full counter, sort of like basketball. Yeah, it's all one hand.
It's one hand?
One hand only. Goalie's only allowed to use 2. But
wait, so you just, it's just your legs?
So, yeah, it's mostly my legs. It's all head-up swimming, too. So it's you're obviously like this, swimming like that. And, it's one hand. 2 hands is automatic turnover.
That's so weird. So weird. I just can't imagine just swimming that fast and with people attacking you.
It's like wrestling in the water.
Yeah, I feel like I'll just drown. So there's a few rules. I'll just say what Google says, and then you can
I got you.
Them. Yeah. So 6 field players, 1 goalie start of the game. The team consists of 15 players. So that's obvious. Field players must pass, catch, and shoot with one hand. You just said that. Taking the ball underwater when guarded is a turnover.
Yeah, so that's called a ball under. So if someone, let's just say I have the ball, and someone pushes my hand underwater, that's a turnover.
If someone else does it, it turns out
so it looks like you're putting the ball underwater, and they're pressing it under, so that'll be a turnover.
Okay. The official field length is at least 25 yards long.
It's your average pool length, competitive swimming pool. It's usually that.
Players may not touch the bottom or hang on the wall. Yeah,
so you can't, even if you play, most colleges are deep, but in high school I play deep, shallow, sometimes shallow, and as a guy who's 6'6", it's a little bit of a challenge to tread the entire time, but I've been very fortunate in college.
Games consist of 4 quarters.
Yes. And
typically last 45 minutes to an hour. That is a long time.
Most games, so it's usually, I think in high school we played 8-minute quarters, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. Our past tournament in February we played 6-minute quarters. Mm-hmm. So when you add in halftime and time in between quarters, it's usually 40 minutes.
That's a long time to just be treading like that.
Yeah.
And then there's a 30-second shot clock.
Yes.
For a possession. So what happens if it's just one person that has the ball, and that you said it was like a breakaway, but like how would that even like happen?
So
Like, I feel like there's so many people in the back that would already be there.
So it's sort of like the breakaways and counters usually come from the top positions. So the 2 and the 4, the top of the key, will usually swim down. It's usually your fastest swimmers. So they'll come swimming down looking for a counterattack, but that's usually on a steal or if the shot clock's down to like 5, someone's already going to start moving down there. So that usually happens that way. But like, usually most of the time it'll come off like someone will take a shot, hits post, and you're already swimming down to get a counterattack. But that's in most scenarios. But ideally you'd like to swim down and set up your offense and run some plays or try to get open somehow. But
are there like rules against you like just chucking the ball?
No.
So you can just chuck it if like you have a really good
some guys are really good at shooting and can shoot right off the reset. So like when you shoot it, like it's like soccer and you make the goal, you go back to the center and it's passed. So we do that too. But so some people just take the pass and shoot automatically. So there's no rules about heaving it up at all.
That's what I would do if I had an arm. You just need like a QB on the team.
We do. We could use it.
And then minor fouls occur frequently. So what are like the fouls? And there's no limit on minor fouls.
Right. So a minor foul, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like soccer in a sense where it's like there's a lot of flopping
to get your indirect.
So it's like, let's just say someone comes over and smacks my arm, and I like spin the ball and make it look like they smack my hand and like the ball drops. So that's a minor foul, and that would just be a ref blows a whistle and you get a free pass usually. So, but if you're outside, so the way the lines work in water polo, there's a 5-meter line, a 2-meter line, and you can shoot if you're outside the 5-meter on one of those minor fouls. But if you're inside that, you can't. So you have the option to either pass or shoot. Most of the time it's a free pass and people take that. But a major foul is, let's just say I come over top someone and just absolutely just smack them behind.
Like drown them.
Yeah, or I headbutt someone or throw an elbow or something like that. That's more of a major foul, and you get 3 of those a game before you get ejected for the rest of the game. Yeah, sometimes.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, it's happened to me a few times. It happens a lot. Sometimes you don't expect it. Sometimes the calls are obviously a little loose sometimes, and they'll call it when you really didn't do much of anything, or sometimes they'll miss a few calls. So it really all depends on the ref. But yeah, it's definitely something that happens.
Yeah. Okay, so I tried to look it up because for Gamecock hockey I could, but you guys don't really have social media or anything like that.
No, so yeah, I just took over recently as president.
Yeah.
This past semester, so in the fall. So I've been trying to work on our image a little bit. So we don't really have a season per se.
Yeah.
There is a league. It's the Collegiate Water Polo Association, but it's really expensive to do. It's $3,000 to do, and
a person or just
a team, and it's
team?
just for the fall. So, and we're a very small club, so budget is very small.
Yeah, and club. I've realized through the series that they do not get a lot of money, even when they're super, super good.
No. So we're also, like I said, a smaller club, so to commit to doing that is a lot. So, but I like to say we're year round because there's tournaments. Each school will host tournaments. We went to Washington D.C. in the fall and participated in a Masters tournament, so anyone 18 above could play. So it wasn't really a college tournament per se.
Yeah.
We went to UNC with UGA. We did a little collab team in the fall as well. We're going to Tennessee next month for a tournament, and then we had our tournament here in February. So it's a lot of college teams hosting tournaments, and it's more so that. So I guess record-wise, we did win our tournament with Georgia at UNC. We won our tournament here. Yeah, so it's really all depending on tournament record.
Yeah.
There's no we're not doing league play yet. I hope to do it by my senior year.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, especially if it is in the fall, that is prime time. Others.
Yeah,
playing,
with football and
making sure that everyone.
Yeah.
knows.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the process of joining the team?
So we don't require any experience at all, and we are a completely co-ed team.
Do you have girls on the team?
We do, yes.
Okay.
So
I will not ever be joining, unfortunately. I can't really swim that well.
No, I'm coming for a recruiting trip. No, so we take anyone with any experience. We've had quite a few members. I think we've had 3 members come in this past semester who've never played water polo before, barely swam, and they've turned out, they both scored in their tournament in February, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So there's no requirements when you come out. Obviously, a little bit of swimming knowledge is great, but literally you can come out with next to nothing knowledge about the sport. Basically, it is a little bit of a learning curve, but after like a week or 2, you're doing pretty good. So if you want to go out and go on the team, just go on Garnet Gate. Contact information's all there.
Just sign up. No tryouts or nothing.
No tryouts or nothing. Hey,
the hockey guys were like, he was like, we had 300 people reach out to him.
Yeah.
Just to like commit here, just to try out.
Yeah, no, we're looking for that. We're trying.
It's the
same sort of thing.
Yeah,
we're trying our best, but
yeah, no. Okay, and then what does like a normal week kind of look like for you during your tournaments and things like that? Like, where do you guys like practice?
So we practice at Blatt, where the competitive swimmers play. But we practice in the diving well of Blatt, so I'm not sure if you're familiar, but like it's like, so the way the pool's set up, there's a diving well with all the big diving boards, like the 20 meter, whatever, the 5 meters, whatever, and then there's the big competitive pool, which is your 25-meter pool, and then there's another pool that's like over here, it's another competitive pool. But so we practice in the diving well, which is a smaller pool. So usually we practice Monday, Tuesday, Thursday was our new schedule this year, and well, in like a tournament setting, obviously we wouldn't play in a diving well. We play in our 25-meter pool.
Yeah.
But practice schedule usually is 7 to 9 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, like I said. In a tournament week, usually, ideally, everyone tries to show up. Attendance is usually at its high. Try to run as many scrimmages as possible. In a tournament for us, unfortunately, due to the resources we have with the school and like the timing of everything, we can only have like a 14 tournament here, which is a lot. It still is a good number, but so it's usually from 12. I think it was 12 to 7 p.m. So it was just a round robin tournament. Each team played everyone. Most schools will do 2 days tournaments, so we'll have games Saturday and Sunday. So our tournament next month will probably be a 2-day one. Okay. And it will be, so you play all your playing games and you do your seeding for the next day. So it's usually like an A group and a B group, and like the first place will play like the last place in the B group or whatever the next day. However that works.
So that brings me to your last tournament.
Yes.
My friend is on the Auburn water polo team, and I received a call from him saying that they were playing late, and he was mad, and nothing was organized.
Whoa. So it was, like I said, it was my first tournament planned. We tried to plan one in the fall. It fell through due to scheduling and that sort of thing. So like I said, this is my first tournament. I had some trouble planning it. I wanted to do it in January. Couldn't get the teams, so that was definitely a learning curve. Then I got it scheduled for February, and so we were very last minute. We had 3 teams for a second, then someone backed out, and then we couldn't find a 3rd team, so we're struggling a little bit. Then Auburn graciously came, and
then complained.
I'm not saying anything at all, but
he complained.
Hey, I'm just doing my diplomacy. So when you schedule an event on campus, you have to do a form saying, hey, I need a table, chairs, whatever. And then you'll like meet with your campus rep representative, which I believe is just the same for everyone. And they'll set up everything for you. And when you're in a meeting, it'll be like, hey, do you need this, this, and that? So I guess when I was doing that, I had to do it twice, like I said, because I tried to do it in January, fell through, whatever, I had to reschedule. So did it again, and so I guess I requested the scoreboard. I guess I dropped the ball there on that and didn't request a scoreboard because when we get there, we have our table, we have our chairs, but don't have a scoreboard. So
just like the one that you like flip.
No, so it was like an electronic one that had the shot clock on it because we can't. At least I don't know how to sync it up to like the ones in there or use the big scoreboard that's in there. Excuse me. So so that was the problem, and I was like, it got to 12 o'clock and we wanted to start, and we're like, there's no scoreboard here. So had to take some phone calls and didn't get there until I think, I want to say 12:30 maybe. Okay. And we were also running late because there is a club team that's not the club school team, like not the Gamecock, but there's like a club affiliated team, like a youth club that was practicing before us. So we couldn't move any of the equipment or lane lines until right at 12. So yeah, we were definitely a little crunch for time. So it was definitely a rookie mistake, and obviously it was the first one that I planned, so it was a little rough. However, it was a great tournament.
Now you know to get.
And we did get out early, so everyone was able to get out early and go on time. We did pose alternatives when the scoreboard wasn't there if we wanted to start early, but judging by voting and consensus by the other teams, they were okay with waiting. I know it wasn't ideal, and I know it was a little unprofessional, but we were able to do it, and everyone seemed satisfied.
It's also you guys are all like college kids. Like it's like you don't really have like advisors like having to do it all for you.
No, so
or, like, coaches.
So our old president, he still is here. He's a senior. He's graduating in the spring. So it was he's sort of like my mentor through this all. So I've had a little bit of help doing it, but it's mostly been a lot of self-teaching and a lot of struggle. At least like figuring everything out and like. How do I plan hotels? How do I go about like playing a whole tournament? But so yeah, the first one was obviously gonna be a little rough, but we're looking forward to hosting hopefully 2 a year, one in the fall, one in the spring. But
do you guys like have a budget?
So we do. The way that I guess I don't know if other clubs have told you or or if the viewers, but basically the way the club budget works is. In the spring, so actually next month, I got to plan an allocation budget. So the way that works is I have to request like the expenses, the revenue, like whatever project, and then show the actual for this past semester. And if we request over $500, we have to present like what we're going to be spending our budget on. And if they
only get $500.
So if they see fit, like they'll allocate extra money to you. But most of our revenue, I guess, for funds comes from dues, which every club on campus charges dues.
Yeah.
So most of our revenue will come from that, and that'll cover travel, Airbnbs, hotels, tournament fees, most of that. Like the school funds usually cover, like we got new caps, like water polo, like caps, and those were covered by the school. So like they'll cover most of your like. We're gonna try to get a new goal, caps, and stuff like that. So we'll cover that. But like, if we got new suits too this semester. So like that was obviously out of our pockets. So
yeah, you guys need to get like merch or something.
I was working on it. I'm trying my hardest. I hope in the fall I have merch and all that fun stuff. So in the fall, be on the lookout.
Yeah. Do you guys have like a coach?
No. So I plan most of our workouts with our captains while we're in the pool. So I'll usually come up with like a swim set or something like before the condition. Like can't obviously play water polo without a little bit of conditioning.
Yeah.
So usually we do a little light conditioning to start, nothing crazy. Then we do a little treading, little tread set. Usually it's pyramid maybe, I don't know, like lengths of the pool treading, stuff like that. And then we do passing. And then we do shooting drills. So a lot of people on the team come with experience. So they'll have drills that they did in high school or did on their clubs back in high school. So they'll bring those to the table. And we used to have a coach, but we find that like the peer led is it's great to have like other people lead, and it's like not feeling like pressure or anything, and everyone's having fun together and learning from each other. So
yeah. I feel like club is like a step up from like intramural. Like it's the way more competitive. So it's just like the people that like want to keep doing it but don't want to have a coach.
And that was my thing.
Coaches like realistically like break a lot of people's like image on their sport.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That hits home. But yeah, no, it's good. It was definitely a thing when I came to college. I was like, I want to play, but it's like I don't want it to be my entire life. But it's kind of become that. But yeah, I don't know. It's for those who like want to come out. It's not a huge obligation, but obviously taking the president role, it's become a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. It's a good way to try something new or stay in touch with something that you used to play or always wanted to. And yeah, that's
have you guys like thought about? I know you talked about like at the beginning with how you guys don't really have anything posted or anything like that, but like taking like the women's rugby, like how they did it during the Olympics, like just random TikToks, things like that.
I tried to get the team on TikTok. Not behind it. Some people that were very anti-TikTok. I'll go back and pitch it again. Maybe it was the poor pitch, but no, I've slowly worked on working on my graphic design skills, putting out better graphics, that sort of thing. Definitely to work on the TikTok market, or maybe even Twitter market. I don't know.
Yeah. What is like life outside of water polo, like with your team as a whole and things like that?
So,
are you guys close or?
I would say it's kind of like a little bit of like a little family almost. So we are a very small team. I think in total in our group meet it's like 15 people, but like usually practices are very small. Usually it's like 5 or 6 people on like an average day. And I mean, although it is small and whatever, one would say, it's a good bond you form with everyone there. Like it's like a lot of people that like from all across the country, like California, Chicago, Georgia. Like it's just a good blend of just everything, and to have other people from different experiences come and like offer that, it's awesome. And we had a little social pasta dinner before our tournament, and it was good. It was like it's nice to have all that. So it's definitely, like I said, a very small club, but everyone's very close with it, and everyone is,
yeah. Where do you see like the future?
So hopefully, the club grows and we get our name out there. A lot of people did not know we even had a club. So
I did not.
No. So and that goes across for the whole water polo league too. We were very, like you said, not active on the social game. So that was part of our downfall. And like I said, we always been a really small club. So my freshman year, so last year, we never were able to compete as a team because we never had enough people to field for a tournament. So it was always us playing with Georgia or us playing with Kennesaw State or playing with another team. We never were able to compete on our own. So this past fall, being able to compete on our own for the first time was definitely a huge step in the right direction. And having our first tournament and winning was huge. And to get our name out there and to finally get some respect, I guess the way to put it, was awesome. And so to like actually start getting invited to tournaments now, to start being able for people to like ask us for invitations to tournaments, it's a huge step in the right direction. And I look forward in the future to hopefully be able to grow the team, obviously, through different recruiting, whatever, and grow from a smaller team to a bigger team. Having more tournaments, maybe have the cock hockey atmosphere in the stands, pack the stands, maybe. But no, I don't know. I just want it's kind of like it's something like it's really nice to see like finally grow to something nice. So
what like teams are in it so far? Like SEC, like big schools.
Oh yeah, so there is pretty much every school has a team. We're the only team in the state of South Carolina, like the only competing collegiate team. Clemson doesn't have a team anymore. But Georgia, Mizzou, Tennessee, pretty much all the SECs in it. Alabama. I'm trying to think who's not. I think everyone's in there in the SEC. Like we played University of Maryland. A lot of Big Ten schools are in there. It's bigger up north than it is down here, but it still has a huge presence. Yeah, pretty much every school has a team. Yeah.
So do you guys like prefer to stay general like on the east side and like south side?
Yeah.
Especially like, until you get your budget.
Yeah. We don't really have the funds to like travel.
Fly to California.
To go to California or go to Oregon or go crazy up north. The farthest we traveled was DC, and that was like 8 hours. So, yeah, we should try to keep it within like a few hours travel.
Yeah.
I would love to go to California and play, or go to like, I don't know, like Chicago or something, play there. But maybe next year or maybe the year after. But, yeah. So, and I think if we do like the actual league, we'll have opportunities to do that. But obviously, need a few more people. But.
Yeah. And then the last question is, you talked about like you being the recruiter. So what does that process look like for you?
So, like I said, I'm very new to it all. So obviously getting tabling, getting a table on green when they have the club fair. That's the first step. Second step really is reaching out to my high school and trying to get a pool there of kids. Like I was always really in touch with my high school team, and I went back actually last summer and like would coach and mentor some of the kids, and it was really nice. And so like a lot of people have reached out about trying out and seeing if maybe they want to come to South Carolina or that sort of thing. Trying to recruit through like all different avenues too. Like if someone walks by and goes, "Is that water polo?" Like, yeah, you wanna come play? So that sort of thing. We like I said, we welcome literally anyone. So if someone hears this, feels inspired, saw it on the Olympics or something, it's like that looks awesome. We'd love that. There's literally no requirements. So I just try to really get anyone who really wants to try out and that sort of thing. So
yeah. No, my friends like loved playing it in high school.
Yeah, no, it's usually most people's experience.
It's like a fun thing. I can't swim, so it was never for me. I also feel like I would just drown someone in the water.
Nah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, if my sister played with me. But that is everything for this episode. The next episode will either be with one of the volleyball girls or with one of the soccer girls. And then obviously flip-flop for the next episode. But I will see you guys next week. Thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.